If you are over 60 years old, imagine this situation. Last night, you had a fairly healthy meal, with vegetables, light on the stomach. You went to bed thinking you had taken good care of your body. But the next morning, you wake up and something feels off. Your head feels slightly heavy. You feel a bit dizzy. There may be a sense of weakness in your arm or a slight loss of balance. These signs are very easy to ignore. Many people think it is just normal fatigue. But for people over 60, risk does not always come from fried foods, sugar, or unhealthy meals. Sometimes it comes from the very foods you believe are good for your health. Even vegetables. As we get older, the body processes food differently. The kidneys filter more slowly. Blood vessels become stiffer. Many people also take daily medications. Because of this, certain vegetables, when eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong way, can put pressure on circulation during sleep, increasing the risk of stroke overnight. This does not mean you need to fear vegetables. It means that after age 60, eating the right way is just as important as eating the right foods. In this video, I will share 9 common vegetables that many older adults eat every day, but that can carry risks if used incorrectly, and how to eat them safely. We begin with the vegetable that almost everyone believes is the safest choice. Vegetable number 9, spinach, when a superfood, is no longer suitable at night. Spinach has long been considered one of the healthiest vegetables. It is rich in iron, magnesium, and antioxidants. Many people over 60 choose spinach because they believe it helps keep the heart strong and the mind sharp. But the issue is not spinach itself. The issue lies in how the body processes it as we get older. Spinach contains oxalates, natural compounds that can bind to calcium. When we are younger, the kidneys easily flush these substances out. But after age 60, kidney function slows down, blood vessels become less elastic, and many people also take calcium or vitamin D supplements daily. When these factors come together, oxalates and calcium can form very small crystals in the bloodstream. Over time, these crystals can narrow the tiny blood vessels that supply the brain, reducing blood flow, especially at night when the body experiences mild dehydration. This does not mean that spinach causes an immediate stroke, but for people over 60, eating spinach the wrong way can quietly increase risk during sleep. The safe way to eat spinach is very simple. Have it in the morning or at lunchtime, when the body is more active and better able to process it. Avoid eating it too often at the same time as calcium or vitamin D supplements. If you have kidney issues, heart conditions, or are taking long-term medications, it is best to discuss this with your doctor. Spinach is still a very healthy vegetable. It just needs to be eaten at the right time and in the right amount after age 60. And this does not only apply to spinach. Some other vegetables, even those considered heart protective, can also create risks if they are not combined properly with common medications used by older adults. Next, we will talk about another familiar vegetable, one that appears in everyday meals, but can directly affect the effectiveness of blood-thinning medications if you are not careful. Vegetable number 8, broccoli, when a healthy vegetable can reduce medication effectiveness. Broccoli is often considered one of the best vegetables for heart health. It is rich in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Many older adults eat broccoli regularly because they believe it helps protect blood vessels and extend longevity. But for people over 60, the issue is not broccoli itself. It lies in how broccoli interacts with medications taken every day. Broccoli contains high levels of vitamin K, a nutrient that helps blood clot properly. This is very beneficial when the body is younger. However, for people taking blood-thinning medications or heart drugs, sudden changes in vitamin K intake can disrupt how these medications work. When you eat a large amount of broccoli for a period of time and then stop completely, the medication in your body may become stronger or weaker without you realizing it. Blood can become too thick or too thin, increasing the risk of circulation problems and stroke. What makes this dangerous is that you often do not feel anything right away. Only when blood pressure fluctuates, dizziness appears, or unusual fatigue sets in, does the problem become noticeable. The safe approach is not to completely avoid broccoli. What matters most is eating it consistently and in stable amounts. Avoid eating too much for a short period and then stopping suddenly. And if you are taking blood-thinning medication, Inform your doctor about your intake of green vegetables so your medication can be adjusted appropriately. Broccoli remains a very healthy vegetable, but after age 60 it requires consistency, not extremes. And not all risks come from medications. Some vegetables can cause issues simply because they are eaten at the wrong time, especially in the evening when the body begins to enter its resting phase. Next, we will talk about a vegetable that often appears in light evening salads, seemingly harmless, but one that can make the blood thicker while you sleep if you are not careful. Vegetable number 7, romaine lettuce. When a light dinner puts strain on circulation. For many people over 60, a light salad in the evening is a very common choice. Low in calories, easy to digest. It feels good for the heart and for sleep. Romaine lettuce is often chosen because of that light feeling. But what many people do not realize is that the timing of eating this vegetable matters more than the vegetable itself. Romaine lettuce has a natural diuretic effect, meaning it causes the body to release more water. When we are younger, this rarely causes a problem. But after age 60, kidney function slows down, thirst signals weaken, and at night, the body can easily slip into mild dehydration without you noticing. When the body's water level drops, blood tends to become thicker. Thicker blood moves more slowly through aging blood vessels, increasing the chance of small clots forming during sleep. This risk is even higher if you're taking blood pressure medications or diuretics. What makes this concerning is that you may not feel thirsty or clearly uncomfortable. But the next morning, you may feel dizzy, unusually tired, or have a heavy feeling in your head. The solution is not to stop eating salads. It is to change the timing. Eat romaine lettuce at lunch or in the early afternoon when the body is better hydrated and circulation is more active. If you still eat leafy greens in the evening, drink a small glass of water alongside them to support blood flow. Romaine lettuce is still beneficial for digestion and heart health. But after age 60, eating it at the right time helps it support the body instead of quietly putting strain on circulation overnight. And it is not only vegetables eaten at night that require attention. Even familiar vegetables eaten as daytime snacks, if consumed the wrong way, can trigger unwanted reactions while you sleep. Next, we will talk about a very familiar root vegetable, often eaten raw because people believe the fresher the better. But for older adults, this habit can cause blood sugar and blood pressure to fluctuate during the night. Vegetable number 6, raw carrots. When fresh food causes blood sugar fluctuations at night, carrots are often considered a healthy snack, crunchy, low in calories, and good for eye health. Many older adults like eating raw carrots because they believe the fresher they are, the better. But for people over 60, how carrots are eaten matters more than the carrot itself. Raw carrots are digested fairly quickly and release natural sugars into the bloodstream. When we are younger, the body handles this rise in blood sugar easily. But as we get older, especially for those with prediabetes, diabetes, or slower metabolism, blood sugar can rise and then drop quickly during sleep. These fluctuations cause the body to release stress hormones to self-regulate. These hormones can constrict blood vessels and slightly raise blood pressure at night, exactly when the body should be resting. When combined with mild dehydration during sleep, the blood can become thicker, reducing blood flow to the brain. This does not mean that carrots are harmful. The issue is eating raw carrots by themselves, or eating them late in the day. The safe approach is very simple. Eat carrots during the daytime and pair them with protein or healthy fats such as yogurt, nuts, or mashed beans. This helps slow sugar absorption and keep energy levels stable. Avoid eating raw carrots in the evening, especially right before bed. Carrots are still an excellent source of vitamins and antioxidants. Just remember that after age 60, stability matters more than freshness. And it is not only vegetables that affect blood sugar that require attention. Some familiar seasonings used in daily meals, even in small amounts, can also change how thin the blood becomes if they are not used properly. Next, we will talk about a seasoning often seen as a natural medicine for the heart, but for older adults who are taking medications, it needs to be used carefully, like a medicinal herb. Vegetable number 5, garlic. When a natural antibiotic needs to be used like medicine. Garlic has long been considered a heart-protective food, It helps lower blood pressure, supports circulation, and boosts immunity. Many older adults use garlic every day with the belief that more is always better. But after age 60, garlic is no longer just a seasoning. In many cases, it acts like a mild blood thinner. Garlic contains sulfur compounds that reduce platelet aggregation. This is beneficial when the body is healthy. But for people taking heart medications, anticoagulants, or even daily aspirin, this effect can add up. When the blood becomes too thin, small blood vessels, especially those in the brain, become more vulnerable to damage. Early signs are often very subtle: easy bruising, dizziness, dull headaches, or unusual fatigue. If this continues, the risk of brain bleeding can increase without you realizing it. This does not mean you need to stop using garlic. The issue lies in dosage and form. Limit concentrated garlic products or supplements unless approved by your doctor. Prioritize using cooked garlic in moderate amounts as part of meals. Heat helps reduce its blood-thinning effect and makes garlic easier to digest. Garlic remains a valuable gift from nature. But after age 60, it needs to be used with control, more like a medicinal herb than an everyday food. And it is not only foods with blood-thinning effects that require attention. Even very familiar vegetables, which seem to only help lower blood pressure slightly, can disrupt circulation if eaten at the wrong time or in excessive amounts. Next, we will talk about a common aromatic vegetable found in most kitchens, often used to enhance flavor. But for people over 60, eating too much or eating it late can cause blood pressure to drop too low during sleep. Vegetable number 4, onions. When the blood pressure lowering effect becomes too strong, onions are a familiar ingredient in most meals. They enhance flavor, support heart health, and help reduce inflammation. Many older adults believe that eating more onions helps blood circulate better. But after age 60, this heart-healthy effect can become excessive in certain situations. Onions contain natural compounds that help dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure. In younger people, the body can easily self-regulate. But in older adults, especially those taking blood pressure medications or heart drugs, this effect can add up. When blood pressure drops too low, the amount of blood and oxygen reaching the brain can temporarily become insufficient. During the day, this may only cause mild dizziness or fatigue. But at night, when the body experiences mild dehydration and circulation slows down, the effect can be more pronounced, increasing the risk of lightheadedness, fainting, or cerebral circulation disturbances. One important point to note is that raw onions tend to have a stronger effect than cooked onions. And meals that are heavy in onions in the evening can make it harder for the body to maintain balance during sleep. The solution is not to completely avoid onions. Use onions as a flavoring, not as the main dish. Prioritize cooked onions and limit meals that contain large amounts of onions in the evening. If you are taking blood pressure medication, it is also important to inform your doctor about your onion intake habits. Onions are still a beneficial food. But after age 60, moderation and timing determine whether they support circulation or quietly place strain on it. And not all risks come from blood vessel dilation or medications. Some other familiar foods can cause problems simply because they raise blood sugar faster than you might expect. Next, we will talk about a vegetable that often appears in family meals, is considered light and easy to eat, but for older adults, it behaves more like a starch than a green vegetable. Vegetable number 3, corn. When a vegetable acts like a starch in an aging body, corn is a familiar food in many households. Boiled corn, corn soup, corn porridge, or cornmeal. It feels light, easy to eat, and seemingly very wholesome. But after age 60, the body does not process corn like a typical vegetable. From a nutritional standpoint, corn behaves much more like a starch. When eaten, the natural sugars in corn are quickly converted into glucose in the bloodstream. In younger people, insulin responds quickly to keep blood sugar stable. But in older adults, this response is often slower. As a result, blood sugar can rise rapidly and then drop sharply, especially at night. These fluctuations force the body to activate stress hormones to regain balance. These hormones cause blood vessels to constrict, blood pressure to fluctuate, and the blood to become thicker during sleep, a state that is unfavorable for brain circulation. This does not mean that corn is dangerous. The issue is eating corn too frequently, eating it at night, or treating corn as a main dish every day. The safe approach is to treat corn as a side dish, not a primary vegetable source. It is best eaten during the daytime and paired with protein or healthy fats such as eggs, beans, or avocado to slow sugar absorption. Limit processed corn products, as they cause blood sugar to rise more rapidly. Corn can still be part of an older adult's diet. Just remember that after age 60, blood sugar stability matters more than the feeling of being easy to eat. And it is not only foods that raise blood sugar that require consideration. Some other vegetables, even those that appear very light and mild, can cause the body to lose water more quickly if eaten at the wrong time. Next, we will talk about a vegetable that often appears in light, simple meals and is considered refined and healthy, but for older adults, it can increase the risk of nighttime dehydration if eaten at the wrong time. Vegetable number 2, asparagus. When its diuretic effect makes the blood thicker at night. Asparagus is often seen as a light, refined, and healthy vegetable. Low in calories, rich in vitamins, and commonly included in clean eating meal plans. Many older adults choose asparagus because they believe it is easy on the stomach and safe. But after age 60, the natural diuretic effect of asparagus needs closer attention. Asparagus stimulates the body to release water. During the day, this rarely causes a problem, but in the evening, when the body is preparing to rest and fluid intake decreases, this effect can lead to mild dehydration during sleep without you realizing it. When the body lacks water, the blood tends to become thicker and circulation slows down. In aging blood vessels, this increases the risk of small clots forming overnight. The risk is even higher if you're taking blood pressure medications, diuretics, or have kidney issues. What is important to note is that you may not necessarily feel thirsty, but the next morning you may feel tired, have a heavy head, or experience mild dizziness, signs that are easy to overlook. The solution is very simple. Eat asparagus at lunch or early dinner when you are still active and drinking fluids regularly. You can pair asparagus with water-rich foods such as cucumbers or other leafy greens, or drink a small glass of water alongside it. If you are taking medications related to blood pressure or kidney function, ask your doctor whether asparagus may intensify the effects of those drugs. Asparagus is still a healthy vegetable. It is just that after age 60, the timing of consumption determines whether it helps or harms. And even when timing is considered, there is still another very familiar vegetable that deserves closer attention. One that is almost always present in the kitchen and is often seen as a symbol of healthy eating. But for an aging body, it can disrupt circulation and create sensations similar to stroke symptoms if used incorrectly. Next, we will talk about the vegetable at the top of the list. A food so familiar that few people suspect it could become a trigger when eaten in large amounts or late in the day. Vegetable number 1, tomatoes. When a symbol of healthy eating disrupts circulation. Tomatoes appear in almost every kitchen. They are easy to eat, easy to combine with other foods, and rich in antioxidants. Many older adults consider tomatoes an absolutely safe choice for the heart and the brain. But after age 60, tomatoes are no longer as neutral as we tend to think. Tomatoes belong to a group of plants that contain biological compounds capable of affecting blood vessels and the nervous system. In younger bodies, these reactions are usually mild and quickly balanced. But in aging bodies, where blood vessels are less flexible and the nervous system is more sensitive, even small changes can produce noticeable effects. When tomatoes are eaten in large amounts, especially in the evening, some people may experience unstable blood vessel dilation or constriction. This causes blood pressure to fluctuate during sleep. Dizziness, headaches, mild numbness in the hands or feet, or fatigue upon waking may occur. Sensations that closely resemble early signs of impaired brain circulation. In addition, the acidity of tomatoes can affect the body's mineral balance, especially magnesium and calcium. Minerals that are essential for stable blood vessel and nerve function. At night, when the body has fewer regulatory adjustments, this imbalance can become more pronounced. This does not mean you must avoid tomatoes. The safe approach is to eat them in moderate amounts, prioritize cooked tomatoes, and avoid concentrated tomato-based dishes in the evening. Eating tomatoes earlier in the day gives the body time to adjust and reduces strain on circulation during sleep. Tomatoes are still a valuable food, but after age 60, moderation and timing determine whether they support the body or disrupt it. And when looking back at this entire list, one clear point stands out. It is not that these vegetables are bad. It is that our bodies have changed. Next, we will summarize the most important thing people over 60 need to remember when eating vegetables, so they can protect brain health without living in fear or unnecessary restriction. Eating vegetables after 60, not about avoiding, but about understanding. After going through these 9 familiar vegetables, you may have realized one important thing. These vegetables are not enemies of your health. Most of them are still very beneficial when eaten the right way. What has changed is not the vegetables. It is the body after age 60. As we get older, the kidneys filter more slowly, blood vessels become less flexible, the body loses water more easily at night, and many people take daily medications that quietly affect circulation and blood pressure. Because of this, the same food can help you feel stronger when eaten at lunchtime, but can place strain on circulation when eaten late in the evening during sleep. The most important question is not which vegetables you eat, but when you eat them, how much you eat, and what you eat them with. You do not need to fear vegetables. You do not need to eliminate the foods you enjoy. You simply need to pay more attention to timing, stay properly hydrated, and listen to how your body responds. Understanding does not limit you. Understanding gives you more control over your own health. Grogomish. Important medical notice. The content in this video is for educational purposes only. Every older adult has a different health condition, especially those taking medications for heart disease, blood pressure, or diabetes. Before making changes to your diet or how you use certain foods, you should consult your doctor or healthcare provider who knows your medical history. And now, I would like to hear from you. Which of the 9 vegetables surprised you the most? Do you think you will change when or how you eat them? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Your story may help another older adult better understand their body and take better care of their health. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with family members or friends in your age group. Because what you put on your plate today will shape your clarity, strength, and independence in the years ahead. In the next video, we will continue discussing evening eating habits that seem harmless, but directly affect memory and balance in people over 60.